As coronavirus cases continue to rise here in Clark County, starting a vaccine trial right in the heart of it became a no-brainer.
Because we are becoming a hotspot.
Dr. Atoya Adams, principal investigator with AB Clinical Trials in Las Vegas, says the Moderna vaccine trial can provide Nevadans an option to fight coronavirus.
The body can recognize and say, hey, that's the key that we don't want, and block it out.
It's the only Las Vegas-based center to be awarded the vaccine trials. Dr. Adams, who has 25 years of research experience, breaks down how the vaccine works.
And the S protein is, think of it like a key. It's the key that the virus uses to unlock, get into your cell, and infect it. So this vaccine mimics what the S protein looks like, so that when we're able to give it to a patient, that it mimics what if they were exposed to coronavirus. Therefore, the body makes antibodies to this S protein. So when they actually are exposed to coronavirus, they already have immunity to it.
And that's where Nevadans come in. The ideal volunteer for this trial is anyone over the age of 18 who is at risk.
Who are healthy, or if they have controlled medical issues that are at risk. So casino workers, of course, healthcare workers.
The only exclusion, those who are immunocompromised.
We'll do vitals, blood work, and if they meet the criteria of the trial, they can actually get their first dose that first day.
Dr. Adams and her team follow patients for up to 2 years. While it's just an hour of your time, Dr. Adams says it can be the key to unlock a treatment in Nevada's economy.
And really help us progress and get this out there to help the people, to reopen the town, to bring tourism back to the city.
To participate, you'll have to make an appointment. We have a link to all the information on our website, news3lv.com. In Las Vegas, Alexis Gorey, News 3.
And we really appreciate Mr. Ford and Mr. Trutanich's time today, Reed. The U.S. Attorney Nick Trutanich and Nevada Attorney General Aaron Ford. They formed a special COVID-19 fraud task force back in April when it became apparent that there were people out there ready to use the pandemic to prey on vulnerable Nevadans.
What we've seen is charity scams, price gouging, hoarding. We've seen on the federal level, fraud related to the economic stimulus.
You name it, U.S. Attorney Nick Trutanich and State Attorney General Aaron Ford say they've probably seen it since the COVID-19 pandemic began. That's why they formed a joint fraud task force in the early days of the economic shutdown, bringing multiple agencies on board, ranging from Metro to the FBI, even the IRS.
There have been a total of 858 COVID-19 related complaints, and the Bureau of Consumer Protection team, in conjunction with, again, after the COVID-19 task force came up, has begun to look into those.
And the list is long: testing and treatment scams, charity and investment scams, online and medical fraud, and bogus claims for federal assistance.
We are very vigilant in looking at PPP, paycheck protection, fraud, scams, false statements, loans. That money needs to go to businesses that are hurting, not to fraudsters.
Whether it's a scam that Dieter is experiencing or fraudsters, otherwise speaking, relative to stimulus checks and whatnot, we're engaged.
U.S. Attorney Trutanich says his office has even designated a COVID fraud coordinator.
We've been able to, I think, again, assist Nevadans in a way that isn't always quick, but absolutely thorough.
Well, Gerard, this waiver isn't new. It was given to students participating in summer athletics, but a source tells News 3 that the school district is also looking to have all parents sign a very similar document before they return to the fall semester.
You can see it here on Arborview High School's football Twitter page. Players directed to have their parents sign this COVID-19 summer waiver. The document highlights specific guidelines like frequent hand washing, social distancing, and face coverings. There's 6 separate sections to initial, including this one. It asks parents to acknowledge that their child could contract COVID-19, which may lead to serious illness, ventilator usage, or even death. It also warns parents that by signing this document, they will not have any, quote, right to make a claim or lawsuit against CCSD, end quote, and says parents must conduct health screenings, such as monitoring their child's temperature each day. A source familiar with the situation told News 3 a similar document is being discussed for all parents to sign before the school year begins.
It just seems like it wouldn't be in the public's interest to do that.
Business attorney Jennifer Lloyd says a document like this isn't unusual for optional programs like sports. but says if a waiver like this was sent to all children, legal questions remain.
School is mandatory. Requiring parents to sign a waiver to send their kids to school, it really seems to violate the public policy associated with providing an education and the fact that you can't opt out of it.
I showed the summer waiver to several CCSD parents. They tell me they wouldn't feel comfortable signing this document or another one similar.
Somebody can sign it and then send their child to school without taking any precautions for the health of the other children. That's what worries me.
Would you sign this?
I wouldn't.
And why is that?
For our own safety, for their life. It's not worth it.